The first boss in Elden Ring Nightreign is a real hurdle, and we're not talking about the tutorial boss, you're meant to fail at that one, but the first true boss. The Tricephalous Nightlord is a fiery Cerberus with a chain whip who splits into 3 separate dogs to chase you down. You can't progress until this overgrown puppy is downed, proving a big challenge early on. But isn't this sort of block always the Dark Souls way? It just shows how Nightreign is an authentic Souls experience, and we wouldn't have it any other way. This time though, you're not facing bosses alone, but in a group of 3. While From Software's previous games have included cooperative play, it's never been mandatory. With Nightreign, however, you team up to explore a map with randomised elements. You spend 3 in-game days here, buffing stats and abilities before facing one of 8 Nightlords. Fail, and you start the run again. In this way, it combines both the Souls-like and roguelike genres, which are 2 buzzwords that have seemingly dominated the industry for the past decade. Here though, it's a concoction only From Software could have created. It's intense and exhilarating stuff. You can ignore those genre descriptors though. Really, Nightreign is a game about sharing memorable moments with others. Moments of wonder, comedy, frustration and euphoria. Seeing a volcano erupt mid-game for the first time, for instance. Being stuck in an underground maze as a storm of death sweeps over the map. And, of course, the elation at finally putting that flaming puppy in its place. These sorts of shared moments are what all the best multiplayer games are about, and that's what makes Nightreign so equally compelling. So let's explain how it all works. Players fly into the map and must spend an in-game day exploring and leveling up as fast as possible. Gradually, a blue storm of death encroaches on the map, funneling players towards a singular spot to defeat a boss. Survive and it's on to day 2 to repeat the process on the same map. Survive that and it's on to the Nightlord battle. The map itself is static, but certain locations, items and bosses are randomised each time, plus there are environment-altering instances and random invasions to keep runs fresh. The encroaching storm adds a dash of Fortnite, its purpose to keep exploring players close together, but often useful items or even your dropped runes upon death can be left agonisingly out of reach. There are 8 Nightfarers to play as, each loosely based on a class from the original Elden Ring. There's the all-rounder Night Wilder, the Black Mage Recluse, or the Defender Birdman Guardian, to name just 3. Each has their own skills with which to approach combat, as well as an ultimate attack to unleash. Take Wilder for instance. His claw shot is used as a grappling hook to dominate combat, while his ultimate attack has explosive force to stagger bosses. We really loved how the characters were not only distinct to play as, but also had us rethinking old strategies from Elden Ring. For example, now the mage characters are the real hard mode. Character skills are one way From Software has encouraged cooperation. Through practice, these can sync up in exciting ways to make or break a boss battle. The Duchess, for example, has a rewind ability to repeat the last moments of damage from any player, particularly useful after an ultimate or critical hit. What's more, if another player is downed, they can be revived when struck by other players, meaning it's not only beneficial to stick together, but ultimate attacks can be used more defensively too. Nightreign does include a single-player mode for the truly sadistic, but it is best experienced in a group on voice chat, bickering about where to explore next, exchanging strategies, and sharing defeats and wins alike. Matchmaking will team players up together, and a basic ping system can be used to highlight areas of the map, but communication really is key to defeating the Night Lords. Their sweeping area of effect attacks and charges across battlefields are geared towards 3 players. There's currently no 2-player mode, and strategies to align moves at just the right time are often required. Nightlord battles sometimes feel more like MMORPG raids, with certain mechanics that we won't spoil here. Finding teammates relies on matchmaking online though, and in typical From Software fashion, playing online has its struggles. During the review period, joining up via password or PSN friend ID often failed, and matches sometimes had heavy lag and stuttering. It never truly impeded on a successful run, but reliable matchmaking is essential in any multiplayer game, and is something that we hope From Software will seek to improve post-launch. Once in a match though, Nightreign is a rush. It feels like speedrunning Elden Ring in half-hour bursts, containing a microcosm of exploration and combat before surmounting the challenge of a colossal boss battle. It's a particularly demanding experience, and early on it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the breadth and depth of the map with all its varied locations and unexplained icons. Nightreign is as abstruse as ever. Learn its intricacies though, and strategies unfold, even if runs eventually devolve into following the same optimum path. Random events weren't quite as frequent as we'd have liked in order to shake up the gameplay. Still, even if random weapon and buff rolls are against you, skill always wins out. Nightreign is demanding for its sheer speed too. With the constant threat of the Blue Storm, there's a real urgency to managing priorities, frantically swapping strategies on the fly, and maximising your chances of team success. There's a pleasing scrappiness to movement too, as you scramble up cliff faces with new parkour abilities, speed across fields with a hasty sprint towards the next nightmarish boss, and leap from mountains in a last-ditch attempt at escape thanks to the lack of fall damage. The map really is a playground full of secrets to uncover over multiple runs, while the combat itself is just as nail-biting as in Elden Ring. Thankfully, despite the difficulty, no run is truly wasted. Each attempt is rewarded with relics, which provide passive buffs once applied to your character in one of 3 slots, while a permanent currency called Merc is used to purchase new relics or unique costumes for the Nightfarers once unlocked. Each character has a story of sorts too, with journal entries leading to special missions called Remembrances, which feature things like collecting a certain item or defeating a certain enemy to progress the questline. This is by no means a narrative-driven game, but Remembrances add to the overall feeling of progression and provide some very useful, unique rewards. In all, Nightreign feels like a thank you to the 30 million players who bought the original Elden Ring. It uses repeat assets from the game, and the bosses encountered are taken from across Elden Ring and the 3 Dark Souls games, while the 8 Night Lords are all brand new and rank among some of the most difficult yet beautiful bosses From Software has ever created. As such, Nightreign is a celebration of the Souls series for veterans already versed in its calculated combat and able to spot familiar demonic faces. But that's all at the expense of newcomers who may struggle with its fast pace. Nightreign is outstanding for fans, but has limited appeal for the wider gaming community, though we'd urge anyone with an interest in Elden Ring to give it a try. We don't expect Nightreign to compete for time with established online multiplayer giants then, but what's here is a brilliant foundation for a long-term game, if only From Software would support it as a live service beyond its forthcoming DLC. Are we being greedy? Probably, but Nightreign is that good. There's potential to continue adding more Night Lords, more Nightfarers, and more randomised map events. While we often bemoan developers for chasing live service trends, and we've seen plenty fail to do so, Nightreign deserves to be a hit. It's proven to us that multiplayer Souls can be just as fun as the solo experience, just as challenging, and just as satisfying when played together. After beating that Cerberus, for instance, we went back to help a fellow player defeat it too, and shared in their elation when we won together. What a thrill! After all, a problem shared is a problem solved. This multiplayer spin-off is an exhilarating rush and a celebration of the studio's prior achievements that Souls veterans will absolutely devour. Thank you so much for watching this review of Elden Ring Nightreign. If you enjoyed it, please do give this video a like, subscribe to Eurogamer for almost daily videos about video games, and why not check out this other video review that is on screen and clickable right now. Good night, Rain.